Okay, so today's tomato review is going to be on this tomato right here, and this is called the Beefsteak Tomato. Now, in my opinion, this isn't a true beefsteak tomato. It's more of a slicer or common tomato. I wouldn't call it a beefsteak because usually beefsteak tomatoes are kind of kidney bean shaped. Like, they're not normally looking like slicers, but that's the name of the variety of tomato. I did look it up online to see if other tomatoes named beefsteak. It's just that's what they look like a regular slicer. But in reality, the name beefsteak, anytime you see beefsteak tomato, that's usually referring to a very large type kidney-shaped tomato, not a regular slicer. But again, that's what they call it. That's the name of this tomato, and that's what it is. So this is generally a very common tomato that's grown and used in the tomato business and sold at farmers markets because it's a very heavy producer. It's generally blight resistant, and the tomatoes actually taste good from what I've read. Now, I never tasted any of these tomatoes. I do not know what they taste like. We are going to taste one today, but generally that's why this tomato is very popular and it's grown very widely. Very heavy producer, and you're going to get a lot of tomatoes from it. Now, this plant kind of died early, but as you can see, I got quite a few tomatoes here, and I still have quite a few left on the plant that I'm trying to let ripen on. I just don't have the room to keep all these tomatoes on this table as I do the review. I mean, I've got enough tomatoes here to fill up a wheelbarrow, but I took a small portion of what I got so we can do the video. So anyway, let's do a Brix on this. Now, the Brix looks like it might be a little on the low side here for this one, at least that tomato anyway. It's saying 3.5 on a Brix, so that's a little bit on the low side, so it's probably going to be real tangy and not a whole lot of sweetness. But then again, I could be wrong. But usually, whenever I do a Brix test on these, I know automatically it's not going to taste sweet. Let me give you a look at what they look like. So in general, this is what they look like. You can see the inside. Very beautiful inside. Very common. Very uniform look on the rind. It's just generally a very uniform tomato. This is a great market mort tomato. So if you're going to be doing the vendor's table, this is the type of tomato you're going to want to sell. Yes, you can grow other oddball tomatoes and sell those as well. But generally for larger quantities, if you're looking to sell by the bushel or you're looking to sell by the box load, 10 pounds, 15 pounds at a time, I would suggest growing this particular variety for that reason, for the quantity, simply because it really produces quite a few tomatoes. I'll give you a look at one of the average size. A lot of them, they tend to average in size like around this right here, but we'll give you a better look at this. Great looking tomato, absolutely gorgeous. Very, very nice. I'm just a little surprised the Brix is so low on it. I'm really suffering here. I need lighting and I need to get something soon. But that's it. Alright, so let's give it a taste test. There it is, going in. Well, the interesting thing is, it was low on the sweetness, but it was also low on the tanginess. So it wasn't real tangy, but it also wasn't real sweet. It had a very nice, smooth effect in your mouth. It wasn't chalky or dry. It was very juicy, very moist, very delectable, quite frankly. Just very low on the sweet and tangy, which is a very mild type of tomato. The flavor of the tomato, though, the flavor that kind of lingers around on the back of your tongue, the aftertaste, that hung around a little bit more than normal. Maybe because the other things are lower, it's given me a better tomato aftertaste. Might be that reason, but nonetheless, it did leave that really good aftertaste very noticeably. But it wasn't overwhelming. It was just a very pleasant experience. I'll take one more bite. It's a very nice tomato. You really can't go wrong with this tomato. If you're somebody who's going to set up tables and you want to sell tomatoes, what you really need to sell are these kind of tomatoes, because a lot of people ain't interested in experimenting with, say, a tomato like this, for example. They look at that, they're like, what in the heck? I'm probably not going to even like that. I don't like the way it looks. A lot of people, you think just because we're gardeners, everybody's going to love that tomato. A lot of people are really put off by odd shapes like that when it comes to tomatoes. So when you sell tomatoes like this, everybody's very comfortable with this shape. And they're also comfortable with the way it looks and everything else, the color. And so you will sell more of these type of tomatoes than you will some of the other oddballs, because people don't want to spend a lot of money on tomatoes and get a whole box full of really odd shaped tomatoes and they don't like them. So they're going to be buying these tomatoes for the most part, and you'll sell these a lot better. So that's why I'm doing a lot of reviews on the red tomatoes, plus I'm looking for that perfect red tomato for a slicer. But this is really the tomato you want to buy for that purpose. And it's a good garden tomato too. I mean, if you're a salad person, this is a perfect salad tomato. Absolutely perfect for salads. It'll go excellent in salads. And you can use it really for any general purpose type tomato that you would use a general purpose tomato from the store. So you could really do that. You could probably also make really good sauces with it, which is what I'm going to do, because I extract the seed from it, and once I do that, there's really nothing else I can do with it other than blend it up and make either salsa sauce or something. So I have to do. So this all goes into a big, massive sauce pot, and once that happens, they all get mixed together. So anyway, that is your tomato review for the beefsteak tomato. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.